Good evening, watchers, and welcome to another movie review today. I never thought I'd be doing one today, but I've just finished watching this and I enjoyed it. Really, it's a cracking monster. It's a cracking monster movie. The film is Victor Frankenstein. As you see, really good film. This one stars Daniel Radcliffe and James McAvoy, and it's kind of the origins of, you know, like another like take on the Frankenstein's monster. And James McAvoy plays Victor Frankenstein, and Daniel Radcliffe plays the assistant Igor. But the thing is, though, Igor isn't really Igor. He takes someone else's name, as you said in the film. There's a bit of spoiler in this film video, not a lot though. I'm not going to, you know. But yeah, I enjoyed this, really did. The monster's freaking great. I was like, whoa, he's big, you know. At the beginning, it starts off in this circus, and I think his character, Daniel Radcliffe's character, who plays Igor, but he's not Igor at the beginning. It's someone else. He's in the circus, but one of the girls that he likes, this really, you know, this attractive brunette. She does all these like things, these ropes stunts and stuff like, you know, like stunt moves and stuff like. She does this rope thing, she does this and shit. But the thing is, she drops down and shirts herself. She breaks it, like she like damages she damages a part of her body. But then the dudes to it, both of them work together to fix her and to actually bring her back, you know, to help to rescue her, to help her. Because he starts breathing again, you know. But then then Finger's character gets thrown into a cage. But McAvoy's character, Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, he helps him out of the cage, and you know, helps him out, gets him out to where he lives. He lives in this like big house, like where he does experiments on things and animals and stuff. He brings animals back to life. This big place. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, wow. But he visits her in this hospital place, right? I don't know what it is. Thing is, but no, what happens is before he does that, he fixes his back because he's got his hunch on his back. It's nasty. His ceiling's right. He gets this tube right, sticks in, and then he sucks it all out of it. It was bloody nasty. It's like having a zit and sucking the zit juice out of him. It looked like a big zit, you know. Ugh. It's funny seeing, actually. It's very funny. It's disgusting, but and he fixes his back and everything so he can walk proper because he's kind of like on a hunch, like. The scene in the ballroom is like they're in this like kind of a ballroom where there was all these people, these women and stuff like, and that scene was good. I did that scene when he starts going up. It's like a ballroom. It's like a dinner place, like a. Anyway, he starts talking about babies and stuff like that, and don't need, you know. I think his character starts to embarrass him in front of everyone. It's funny. So that scene was great. It's funny. And then he's talking to that girl because she's all right now. She's not injured anymore. He's talking to her. She was great. You know, her dress and everything. She was good. Then he's at the bottom. Next when he managed to get up, and I thought, he's like Ian Finger's character, Igor's character is kind of like, what the hell? Now, the reason why it's called Igor, right, is because he gives Igor his name. The Igor that was living there at his place vanished. It's gone somewhere. He's like left or something. Because there's a bit of a twist what happens to him because he's not really gone. He kind of stayed, literally. Yeah, really good film. There's one part where he brings this animal back to life. They put his body parts together, right? Now, first of all, he shows you is his eye. It's like this eye thing. It's like. And he starts doing like electricity on it. It's like a small experiment, and then the eye starts moving. That was pretty freaky. It's pretty cool, but freaky. I thought, oh boy, these guys are gonna make a lot of mistakes here because this is crazy. Then later on, they bring this like monkey back to life. They go to this college, right? He makes this animal. It looks like an animal. Move on it left. He does this thing where he gets all his body parts right. He makes this like animal. This it looks a bit like a chipmunk, but like a zombie chimp, you know. And he takes it to his college to show this guy who you know, he's kind of like I tell you, he's very gay. That's for sure. The way he talks and stuff. Jesus, he's arrogant and gay at the same time. Oh, I've got nothing against gay people, but arrogant, heck. Especially the way they talk. So yeah. I know they use electricity on the animal, the zombie chunk, whatever it is, and it comes back and it comes to life, and they're like, "What the hell?" And then it escapes. Of course, they got to go after it, and Eagle goes after it. Of course, it's in this like room. It's like it's just a room, and so yeah, they have to. So they kill the animal. They have no choice because it's like it looks freaky actually. It's like whoa, but then you think, oh, this is not a good idea. If they ever bring a human back to life, that's not a good idea because that's just crazy. Charles Dance, yeah, Charles Dance turns up in this film. He plays like his dad, but he was on actually a film called Dracula, and I thought he plays the same character because in the Dracula film, he actually becomes more human, and I thought maybe he plays Dracula in this, maybe it's a crossover thing, but no. Actually, I think that was Century Fox. That was. This is. I think that was Universal. I don't know. I thought they would have done a crossover on that, but I guess not. Would have been great though. It's a shame, really, because I'd love to see a crossover between the Dracula film and this. Would have been great. Anyway, they kill it right. Then you see certain parts with this cop, this detective, whatever. This police officer. He's a police. Yeah, it's part of the police. He's a police. And he's like investigating and stuff like, and they're trying to break into the police fight, and he's trying to like just the. I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to just, destroy the evidence, whatever. So the Ratcliffe goes into the thing is Eagle goes into the building, and there's like a scuffle, and he gets injured. Thing is character, the police officer, whatever, the detective, whatever. So he gets injured. I think he loses his hand. I think, I don't know. Yeah. But then later on in the film, they meet like this guy, the gay guy, the arrogant one. He's like living in this big house, right? But then, I think he leaves, right, because I think Eagle's character doesn't want to be part of it anymore. So he leaves the building. He leaves it in a carriage, right? But then something happens, right, where these guys come behind him, and he's put a hood over, and then they drop him into the water. These guys, sorry, and they try to drown him, but somebody managed to get out. Was that got like a straitjacket on? It's like that. I think it's straitjacket, but someone managed to get out of it. So yeah. Then, Finger's character, McAvoy's character, Victor Frankenstein. I don't know why. He's like Dr. Frankenstein. He's like in this castle, doing the thing on Frankenstein, Frankenstein's monsters, and that's pretty. That scene was probably my favourite scene because it's just pretty cool. That's cool. Because then you see like you see sort of certain part of the movie where he talks to his girlfriend, the brunette. Well, I don't know what her name is, and he says that he's got to go there, and then she comes with him. Of course, it's kind of like a roadblock because they're like in the carriage ride, and she's kind of like, oh, this thing is men. They're blocking the path, so she distracts them, and he goes to the castle where he's doing the experiment on the monster, the human monster. I think it's called Prometheus. I think they call it he calls it Prometheus or something. His monster. Of course, the cop, the detective, you see, he knows what's going on, so he pops up from outside of her. Next minute, you see Ratcliffe's character climb up the mountain, climb up the cliff, where the castle is. It's like a castle. It's like anyway. That's the only beef I have with this film is the fact there's not like a. It doesn't really like. It's just. It doesn't really last on the monster anyway. But then anyway, you see this part where he's having a. He's telling him, he meets up with Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein. He's telling him not to do this, right? But he doesn't listen, of course. Then he goes out, he shoots these balloons up in the sky, like these like metal. They don't got metal on it, like metallic. To get the electricity going, right? These balloons. Anyway, massive. There's like a huge freaking lightning ball hitting the balloons, and it hits the monster. And of course, it brings them. The thing is, though, right? It shits the monster. You see the monster breathing next to his like his massive hit. That is an explosion, like an overload in the circuits. So it's like it's massive explosions. One of the balloons explode. I think both of them explode. I think there's really cool effects. This film's got some fantastic effects. It's pretty creepy. The monsters. I was like, oh my god, I wouldn't want to mess with him in the dark alleyway. I wouldn't even want to meet him in the light. I wouldn't even want to meet him in a freaking a light room. You know, that's freaky the monster was. I was like, Jesus Christ. I wouldn't even want to meet the guy in a fully lit room. It's freaky. I was like, Jesus Christ, he's big. It's something creepy about when something just stays. So anyway, so it's like a big explosion, right? And the cop is like, the detective is like, he meets up with the Frankenstein meets up with the detective. No, the detective like kind of like. And they're both like looking at each other. The next minute, they see the empty thing that Frankenstein's monsters and Prometheus, whatever we call them. And the next minute, you see like him right at the back, fucking climb, that's standing up, and like he's on the ground at first like that, and he stands up and he starts walking. I think he's walking towards him, Victor Frankenstein. And I'm thinking to myself, you must be crazy. That thing's huge, and it does not look freaking happy. Because when he goes up to him, he's like, oh my god, he's huge. But then when you look at his eyes, his fingers count. Victor Frankenstein is looking at him thinking, oh shit, what have I done? Because he knows straight away he's done something wrong. It's just distant life, you know. Because there's no life in the monster at all. There's nothing there. It's just black. It's almost like a black soul. No soul at all in it. That scene made me a little bit, this is creeper. I don't know what it is about that scene, but that thing was freaker. It's just he's just standing there like a creepy. Even the monster itself looks fantastic. I think he's even got the bolts at the side. I think I saw the bolts there too, the bolts. But he's not. He's actually in the part of the film. He's actually going to give him a flat head. He says, "I'll give him a flat head." And Vingy's character, Eagle's character, is saying, "Why?" You know. And then you think, "Yeah, why?" I would love to have seen that flat head actually. It would have been quite funny. Come in handy the flat head, wouldn't it? Like just sit where I could draw on your head. Oh. Get a piece of paper, just flat surface, or maybe even a cup of Frankenstein's monster sitting there. You just put a cup of tea on his head, won't fall off. Anyway, that'll come in handy. That makes you wonder, doesn't it? Get down and let me put my cup on your head. Because years ago, it was like I got the old films on. I got the old films on Blu-ray and the Frankenstein monster. And they're great to watch, that's where the idea comes from, that green bolts and the things, the flathead. And then Herman monster, flathead. Then it kind of evolved later on. His characters evolved. So he's coming towards him, man. I think he's pointing a gun and he's like, what has he done? Because he's got his dark black eyes, he's just not. And honestly, I was just like, oh boy, he's creepy, he's freaky looking. I'll get the hell out of here. Yeah, sorry, let them sort him out. The next minute, what happens is he shoots his gun at him for some. Yeah, I think he shoots his gun and then he grabs all of Victor Frankenstein's and he throws it. It's like a scuffle. It's like this massive like. So they've got to find a way to kill him. I think his character Igor. I think they've got to find a way to kill him because. Because they've even given him 2 hearts, so they almost kill him. And then they think, Frankenstein reminds Fingers that he's got 2 hearts, so they've got to stab him with like with 2 things. So yeah, the last bit's pretty cool. A bit short though. I thought the last bit was pretty short. It should have like had him longer in the film. Frankenstein's monster, but apart from that, it looks fantastic. The monster, it's like. He looked about 7 foot, huge. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't want to mess with that. That's the only beef I have with this film, is that the monster's on it long enough. But the monster itself is brilliant, There you see. Doesn't really do justice there. If you look at him there, see him there, it's like a big ears, Jesus Christ. I was like, Jesus Christ. I wouldn't want to stand near that. Because when his finger's staring at me, there's nothing there, What has he created? Yeah, the last bit's pretty good actually. I won't say too much why either kill him, but let's just say it takes two to tango. You know what I mean about. Anyway, they have to kill him twice. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. So yeah. Apart from that, a good monster movie, a good Frankenstein movie. I think I enjoyed it. Not one of my favourites, but still pretty good. There's a lot of Frankenstein movies. I like this, the 40s films, or the 30s or 40s. Then there's there's another one called what's that one where Finger goes into the future? He's got like a time machine. Can go and he meets Frankenstein's monster. That was a good one. I like that one. And I've got one with Robert De Niro in, called Frankenstein. So yeah, but that was pretty good. That one was. I enjoyed that. So yeah. I like the one in. You remember a film called Monster Squad? Frankenstein's monster. No, he was a good character. He was. I liked him. He was like the good guy, that. So he's not the bad guy. He's like a misunderstood character. So I'm gonna give a review out of 1 out of 10 on this. And like I said, the film's set in the past like every other Frankenstein movie. This is I don't know what year this is set. 1900. I don't know now. So I don't know. It's quite a long 18. I don't know. It's set a long time ago, that's for sure. So yeah. And a really good rock monster. So I'm gonna the rating I'll give this is this 8 out of 10 because I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. As you notice, my pattern in my movies, I never seem to get a low rate to any. That's only because I enjoy them, one of these days I end up watching a real bad movie and going, that film sucked. Oh, maybe I should watch Dirty Dancing, the remake. Oh my god, I know exactly what rating I'll give that. Anyway. I love the original one, it's a great film, the new one's terrible. So, anyway, 8 out of 10 for that, really good film. The only thing that lets it down is the fact that the monster should be on long enough, but apart from that, good film. He should have had about half an hour, of action, that's what I would have given him, half an hour. Because he was actually pretty good at the monster, I'm not sure who plays him in the film though. But yeah, it's a good film, really good film. 8 out of 10 for Victor Frankenstein. So yeah. Right, before I go, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and Snapchat. Hope you have a nice evening. I've had one of those days again. I've got another day tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it. So hopefully I'm having a better day tomorrow. I doubt it, but anyway. Victor Frankenstein, really good film. 8 out of 10. Oh yeah. It was Frankenstein good. Anyway, have a nice evening guys and take care and be well. Bye.